fusion. Hold me softly, caressing, ribcage undulations, salted surf crescendo, liquid breaching, flowing between abalone spires, encircling bone like life raft remission. Inhale, seagrass swishing. Exhale to blend. Consider Pacific hands reposing to subtle silence until the white cup break, drifting. Linger in a passage where contrasting oceans convene. So I am reading a few different poems today, so I'll just let you applaud at the end. I know it's a bit awkward to know when it ends or when a new one begins, so I'll just kind of run through and make it a nice seamless experience. All right. The next poem I have is called Twilight. Hydrangea blue and moonflower shivers with approaching night encroaching, a delirious timbre, wolverine ferocity, and distinct emphasis on the words, l'air bleu. So the dreamers call it, an artistic texture waxy in their mouths, the waning sorcery of a dreamer I once was. The quality and color of the voice loses strength in the hallucinatory vision of the mind's field, delectable creatures left to fend for themselves in newborn shadows. L'air bleu, too beautiful for daylight's prearranged ending, an oxidized light, vulnerable and worn, preparing for the endurance of nocturnal esprit, une marathon complète qui m'est fatiguée jusqu'au début. I ponder the fire-laden sun that smolders, its power surrendered to liminal fortitude et un silence qui garde comme un mixte d'une nuit clandestine. So I want to just take a moment to say thank you to Jesse and Val, who isn't here, and all of the organizers. As Julie mentioned as well, this is an incredible event. I've been so blown away by all the artists already. And like Julie mentioned as well, like the organizers of this event have been so sweet and just like one of the best events I've ever been part of. So I really want to thank them very much. And thank you everyone for being here. It's really special to be able to present different works of art all together in one space. This poem, yeah. I enjoy your silence, and I'm going to take it as a good sign, but it's like, yeah. Whenever I undulate, remember who asked of you to be someone for tomorrow. Whenever I recede into heart-shaped frames, whose face do you see? I prefer to believe it's mine, but preference is subjective. Whenever I establish my place, there will be no sense to start over, unless fleeing the scene counts as swift justice. Whenever you, nostalgia is easy to shake. Thank you. Honeysuckle slur. Affrettante amore contrario. Dole out your crude words as I, the hummingbird, feed on nectar nocturnal slurs. An aggressive curvature, vibrating voice, spread in stems intertwined. In a hostile garden we bloom, unfurling, hot and viscous, twining, ever higher curled into. Rusted iron and eyesore, taboo acknowledged in commonplace allure. Watch me waver when you enunciate atonement to thirst. Directions tangling upon a spine, twisted and arching. Upon a rhyme reformed on benign lips, begging and heavy. Craving courageous parting, a dive to dizzy and staggered ambition. Lonicera contrario, extend to me your binding petals, flowing profanity. Chide me as a child, a good girl, an irrepressible woman. Oppressive ambrosia, its violence and eloquence dripping from fingertips eager to roam. Call this casing your circumstance for reaching. Release as I hum formulations on the top of a tongue invasive Egyptian stamen, phrases, vulgar composites of crystal. I concede to you, and in turn, I flourish as I imbibe. All right, I'm going to read a longer one from what's called a chapbook, so it's basically a tiny book. And it was published in 2023, sorry. And it's on second print run, so I do have some copies if anyone wants them at the end. But yeah. It's called Lemon Drop Lyrics, and it's all just kind of like spicy, fun poetry. So this one, in particular, I wrote when I was kind of living alone in Montreal, and basically just cooking in my kitchen and going a little bit crazy. So it's a bit of a long rant. Be ready. Murky smoke smudge bubble vase. Daisy and hazy, my neighbors think I'm crazy. Singing ringing voice, mangled garbles that taste gumdrop sweet. As if I own the universe. But little do they know, at least I own this kitchen. Sorta. I guess it is my landlord's. But the pleasure of this apple crisp, sticky wooden spoon, this place, this moment, is mine. I don't know the time, it could be yesterday, it could be a future I may never find. Unless the unsatiated hand-cramping hunger reminds me to keep cooking marshmallow lime green Buddha goodness with dashes of psychedelic zest. Earthy beatnik boredom afternoon forces me to confront melancholic lies. It takes all the stories that are insistent and demands to know why. Why is dopamine so hard to find? Why is joy so tightly wound into pen ink and pixels? Why did you take other people's words and bury them so deep? Isn't ingrained in your brain more than enough? A naughty trickster, Loki, Anansi, Kitsune, Indra, Nanabush, or maybe Crow, says to me, joy is hard to find. Isn't it peculiar how every culture defines these demons? They whisper secrets like, hold on so tightly, don't you dare try to fall down tumbling cliff. You may never feel Pacific heartbeat, haunted deity, taiga fir tree, freedom tar tread rim, rough stumbled, rumbling, silent rhythm paddled bliss ever again. As if joy was so fleeting. As if energy was made up of finite atoms, holding a sales sign saying, limited release. I know these stories are made up over centuries of wisdom. River, winding river, molten shame. But Lord, does it hit contemporary. Skit scat skittering away along with sun rays, another sunset, arbitrary measures of movement. Tomorrow was the subject of Jimi Hendrix musings, confusing purple haze with skies versus men. Both are worth kissing, in my opinion. Tomorrow will likely come. Probably. Almost certain, to be honest. But even if it didn't, what is wrong with today? What is wrong with the way music hit sunflower marrow and champagne-tied tongue, cinnamon sweetmeat, Schrodinger's kitten, and quantum physics dealings, under this table, under serotonin-laced toes? Joy is not limited to hourglass reflections. Millennial Park Hang, couldn't care less, text me back, sad girl starter pack. Spotify songs are more fun when I forget my limitations in this observational realm. In this plane, where I'm dancing and rushing to get this crisscross applesauce on plump pressure lips, on tart lemon notes, awaiting forever home in a glass jar in my freezer beside sprouted blush sand-blasted bottle of half-drunk wine. Here, in this place, I find myself, in this sanctuary, temple, holy ground called the body. Joy thrives with soul-jarring conclusions and liberation, education in entanglement, moonlight opal consciousness, sleeping and weeping comes with surrender. Tears are a result of profoundness sweeping to the sound of bubbling homestead aroma stories in gold-insulated backdrop windows, cracked, if only to spread this wafting nutmeg glory. This is a story of chemical reactions with medicine, myths, and rumor. Poetry holds history, holds humor, that was never written down, that we burned down, that we trampled down. In reality, tricksters know something we don't. The ripest fruit does not come from labor, but the nut-laden earth and the bottomless brisk pear pocket breeze. emanation